Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we're back on Satisfactory once again, going to be continuing a single player playthrough on 1.1. So, if you weren't here last time, we had kind of widened out the platform quite a bit for our fuel factory, a massive fuel factory we're trying to build here as kind of realistically as possible, at least to my best ability anyway, which is not all that great, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so we're trying to build a massive fuel factory. We kind of widen out the platform. We got some rails in place and stuff like that. So today's plan is to actually starting to build the factory. We're going to put our train stations down, get the rest of our train lines in. It's going to be a lot of train stations. We need a lot of them. So it's going to take up all that space down there, I'm pretty sure. And then we might even need even more space. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, yeah, so that is our plan, is to continue building this. Like I said, it's going to take us a long time. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's go. Alrighty, and here we are. So, yeah, last time I had asked you guys about how my mic sounds, and you all said it sounds pretty damn good. Everybody seems to like the mic, so yeah, very awesome to hear. I did tweak it a little bit. I have lowered the volume slightly. It was a little loud when I was trying to edit. It's just like, holy crap, that thing is loud. Which is good. It's supposed to be loud. They're supposed to be up in the yellows, peeking into the reds almost. Just about, anyway. From what I've been told by, you know, watching sound, or talking to sound people and whatnot, so. Anyway. Yes, we've got a lot of work to do, like I said. Oh, jeez. Look at all that. It doesn't want to render in fast enough. You know what I could do? I could put one train I could put the fuel train just right here. Basically. It's like if we were to stick stick the fuel train, the transport. Oops, that's a train. I need a train station. We could put that roughly right over here. I mean, to be honest, I think it's okay that we have one train station going this way. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's not okay, is it? No, it's not okay because we're going to end up running out of room for the rest of them. The rest of the train stations also got to fit in here. We're going to be fitting 2 train stations long. And we did calculate how many train stations we were going to need over here. And I was thinking about the biomass thing, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to have the biomass facility here. That gets rid of 1 train station plus... yeah, it gets rid of 1 train station, you know what I mean? We could just... either that or have the biomass facility somewhere else, but just not train it here. As well as water. I was thinking about water, and I was just like, well, we do have a small thing of water right up there. I don't know if we could fit in it. Well, we do have that lake over there, too. It's like if we could get rid of water, that gets rid of 1 train station as well, because we need so many. I mean, at the current moment, we need 1, 2, 3, because we're going to be packaging it, so that's 3 train stations. Plus packaged fuel. Heavy oil. We're going to be bringing in heavy oil. So that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. We're going to be bringing in regular oil, that's 6. Polymer resin, that's 7 for other stuff. Packaged turbo fuel, that's 8. Compacted coal, that's 9. And then we come over here, we got rocket fuel, that's 10. Nitrogen gas, that's 11. Sulfur, that's 12. Coal, that's 13. And then ionized fuel, that's 14. Plus the big fuel train that's going to be sending out the ionized fuel over to our fuel factory. That's going to be that's going to be 15. So we need 15 train stations as it is currently. Now, I was doing some calculations, and each train station, we go over here, we grab ourselves a train station. And let's say, what the heck? How'd you get underneath there? Get out of there. if we put a train station right here, right up against this wall, that's 1, 2, and let's say we give a little bit of room for belts and pipes. So that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll see I'm right. 7 and 8. 9 and 10. 11 and 12. And even if I had the space to do it, this would be 13 and 14 right here. Not enough room. So we either A, take out a couple of train stations and kind of mitigate it, or we have to put a train station up here, or, you know, just anything to kind of to get that going. Because, yeah, you can see just how much room that's going to take up. As 14 train stations, because you can only do 12 right here. Okay. You know, it's a restriction I really wish they would lift, is the freight platform that must be attached to a train station to place it. That restriction makes no damn sense, and it never has. You know, in all my 3,600 plus hours, you know, it never made any damn sense to me why the platform cannot just go down. Because sometimes you want to build a train station from the back to the rear. You don't want to build it from the thing from the rear to the, or from the front to the rear. You don't want to have to build it from the front to the rear all the time. You want to be able to just do that from the other side. So it's either that or we put the massive fuel train here. And we could absolutely do that. Oh, whoops. I already determined that would not work. I need one more foundation there. Okay. So I guess we'll just throw down a train station. And then throw down a fluid platform. And then throw down another... Oops. What? Oh, it deleted it. I hate when it does that. It doesn't delete the thing you're looking at, it deletes it. It deletes the other thing. Place that there. And then, you know, you go to this side because it's going to try and delete. Can't really tell what you're aiming at while it's building, so... There we go. So yeah, that starts our journey there. And we can just have the pipes underneath of it, I think. And then we'll have the fluid buffers up here. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Because if the factory's up here, then all the fluid's just going to be sucked into the train via gravity, and we don't have to have any pumps. That works. That actually works really nicely. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Autosave. 7, 8, 9. Out of power. 10. And I'm actually going to put 2 train stations on this, and the reason I'm going to do that is so that we can have a smaller car train pulling ionized fuel as well. For, you know, for other uses, just in case. Because I mean, this second train station doesn't really need to be here for the 10-car train to work at all. So this could be a regular platform. But if in the future I decide that I want a 5-car train picking up a little bit of ionized fuel and taking it somewhere, that could also work. I'm having a thought. We could eliminate 2 train stations by having a packaging facility, a packaging and unpackaging facility somewhere else. It's like that's a great idea and all, but man, that's another facility that we got to build. That's going to be a big facility too, if we were to do that. I mean, it kind of needs to be on its own, doesn't it? Basically, a packaging and unpackaging facility, you would have it in stages where the train station drops off the liquid, and then the liquid gets packaged, goes into the loop system, and then gets packaged, and then onto another train, basically. But on that same token, then you would have the unpackaging system, where you'd bring in packages, or you'd bring in, or you'd have the package system where you bring in fluid, it gets packaged, put on a train, or have it loop back around where it gets unpackaged and then into the fluid buffer. It's really hard to do, though. I've tried it in the past, and I didn't have any success. But actually, yeah, I think we might have a packaging facility specifically set up for that. Okay. Alright, so this one's going to have to go at 2.5. That's not going to be enough room, is it? No, it's perfect. Okay. Yeah, that one has to be at 2.5. Just because of that. I'm actually glad I put it there. You can see it's long enough to fit it. It really is. It just, the reason that I didn't put the train station over here is because there wasn't going to be enough room to have the train station plus, to have this right here. I guess I could have, well, no, see, yeah. Even if we were to move that up 2 foundations, there wouldn't have been enough room to have this train station plus your intersection plus your curves and all that stuff. So yeah, it would have been a little bit of a disaster. That is okay. Oh, this is not going to work on this side though. Wait, can I do this? No. It's not that it turns too sharply. The game's just angry that it's not a perfect curve. The game is just angry it's not a perfect curve. I mean, I guess we could center it a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it is centered, isn't it? It is centered. So why does this side work? But the other side doesn't. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. What? I am confused. 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that? I could be being stupid here. I mean, it is, I did just wake up about an hour ago. About an hour or 2 ago. Yeah. No. If I do that. Oh, how is it too close? What? Okay, hold on. Oh, that one's on the edge. This one is not. Aha. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm gonna push that over. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, we'll have to push that over. No big deal though. Alrighty then. So now that we've got all of our train stations in place, now we can actually start working on how we want to produce the factory. So here's all of our train stations. We got almost every color of the rainbow going on over here. So I'm color coding these as I have, recently as well with all my train stations. Everything's color coded so that it's mainly for me, so I remember, but also everything's named as well, so that works there. So I have eliminated a few train stations. Obviously, we eliminated the biomass train station because we're just going to produce the biomass here. We'll just have a recycling facility specifically for biomass that we can throw in by hand from the dimensional depot, and then we can just fill that up. So we'll be, and I've also decided, I have made the executive decision that we're not going to package the stuff here. This way we can avoid having to have those 2 extra train stations to bring in the packages and the tanks. We'll just have a separate packaging facility. And there's another reason that I want to do this as well, because obviously we're not going to be able to make the ionized fuels, so we're going to have a separate reason. So yeah, we're going to export the biofuel only, and then we're importing water. We're exporting fuel, importing the heavy oil, the regular oil, and exporting the polymer resin. I've also eliminated the compacted coal because I don't think we're going to make enough compacted coal extra to make a really big difference. Now, compacted coal is used in a few different alternate recipes and stuff like that for like fine powder and something else, but I can't remember. More like for a munitions facility, which more than likely we would make the compacted coal there anyway. Or have, because we're not going to have a separate facility just making compacted coal. That is, the numbers that we need for compacted coal is so low that they're like having an extra facility would be really crazy. The only way that I would do that is if compacted coal was used in, even though it was such a low number, if it was used in a whole bunch of extra recipes, or it was like an important project part or something like that, then I do that like I have with the smart plating, the versatile framework, the automated wiring, that kind of stuff. Those are really important project parts. So they have, they warrant their own factory. Compacted coal doesn't really warrant its own factory just because of the small amount that you even need. I know that's kind of going against everything else that I've talked to, that I've said I'm doing it, and we're going to have a factory. Maybe we'll have a factory making compacted coal at some point, but like I said, now there is an alternate that is in phase 5, it looks like. But yeah, it's only used in turbo heavy fuel, which we're going to be making it here anyway. Turbo fuel, fine black powder, and compacted steel ingot. Like I said, these two are the only reason that I'd even consider putting it on a train. And maybe at that maybe at the munitions factory, whenever we get around to that one, it'll be we'll make the compacted coal there instead. Just because the munitions factory is one of the, it's like the fuel factory where it's going to be making a lot of different stuff that's all related. So compacted coal could be related in that. I mean, if we end up making a crap load of compacted coal for some reason, then I'll think about throwing down a train station extra. But I think we're just going to eliminate that. So basically by eliminating that allows us to put a train station down for the power shards. Now, why do we need a train station for power shards? Because in phase 5, you actually make a factory making power shards, which is going to be used in our ionized fuel here. So we need a train station importing that because that's going to be its own separate facility. We're going to need a lot. We need power shards, I think, for a few different things. If I remember right, like if we type in power shards, we can see what it's used in. It's used in ionized fuel and one other factory. So it's used in two factories. I don't know if that's an alternate recipe or not, but yeah. So, and we can also, yeah, see there's a recipe in phase 5 that makes power shards into an automated process rather than having to use slugs. So for now, we'll just throw some of our power shards into the train station to make some ionized fuel, but we're not really going to be using all of our power shards for that. Because we have a bunch of power shards. We have a couple thousand. We have enough to fill an industrial container pretty much. That's several thousand. But I don't think I have enough to actually warrant putting into a factory. So ionized fuel is going to be being held off for now. But yeah, and that makes that. So we got the ionized fuel. We're ready for the big station. The reason I'm putting 2 here is because if these are both full, and once that train station takes out, this will fill from these tanks here. It'll fill the train station at 1,200 per minute, even though we're not inputting 1,200 per minute, just because of the pipes and because these tanks would be full, it's going to fill that much faster. So that way we don't have to worry about it. But we've got ionized fuel, we've got autosave fuel. No, we've got ionized fuel, we've got rocket fuel, we've got turbo fuel, we've got regular fuel and biofuel. And then we've got the heavy oil import, the crude oil import. I know that's the same color as rubber, but it's liquid tanks, obviously. We've got the water import, the nitrogen gas import, we got the power shards import, the coal import, the sulfur import, and then finally on the outside here is the polymer resin export, which is pretty much everything we need to make this factory to get it going as well. So yeah, pretty cool. And then yeah, so basically what I'm going to do, and I got this to fit up here, is I'm going to make we're going to make the factory making all the different fuels and everything, and we're going to, so most of it's going to be working, but like I said, the ionized fuel is going to be held off for now. So the other reason that I'm doing liquid instead of just trying to package it here, not only space restrictions, but also is the fuel here. We need this fuel to continue powering. If we start pulling our heavy oil over here so we can get the factory going, we're going to start losing out on fuel. So we need liquid fuel to be exported from here over to the power facility for now. And then we'll just take that fuel and directly put it into those fuel generators over there. Or maybe we'll switch it from regular fuel. We'll switch it to rocket fuel so we can have even more generators, because we're going to be making rocket fuel as well. So but yeah, rocket fuel, doing the ionized fuel is just going to be massive. And the other reason that I'm doing a 10-car train station is that over there is not going to be our main power facility, because as much ionized fuel as we're going to be making and as efficient as it is, we're going to be able to do hundreds of power generators. And I do mean hundreds. And our power facility needs a lot of space to do that. And I was thinking we could do all kinds of different shapes and stuff like that to try and figure out what's an efficient shape for a power facility that's going to be massive. I was thinking about, I was like, we could do a pyramid shape. We could do it into the shape of a giant cooling tower, all kinds of cool stuff. But that'll be later, of course. This facility needs to get built first. But yeah, now that we've got everything here, we can start planning out the actual factory and how much we're going to be making, because I don't really know exactly how much I want to make. Because ionized fuel takes a whole bunch of other stuff in between, and we're going to need to use Satisfactory Calculator to make that happen. So, using Satisfactory Calculator, I found a fix for my color selection. So you know how we've always got this bug, right? Where you go to do a color preset and you'll select one color and it selects another. Well, I finally found a fix for it. And it wasn't me discovering the fix on accident. It was me finding the fix online, of course. Because and so the reason that this bug happens is because sometimes you'll create a preset, and it creates a duplicate in the list. Now, I've never known this. In my 3,600 hours, I've never known this. But it creates a duplicate, but it doesn't show it on the list. But you'll go to select a color, say like Sulfur 1 here. As you can see, I did get it fixed, but what it would do is it would skip all of like this right here, this selection would be somewhere else in the list than what the UI is showing you. So it'd select whatever color that was where it's supposed to be. But I found a fix online, and basically what you do is you load your save in a Satisfactory Calculator, you go to Interactive Map. I'll show you, eventually I'll do an extensive, like, kind of a tutorial, I guess, kind of an extensive explanation on this stuff. But you load it into Satisfactory Calculator, you load your save into the interactive map. Once you load that save and it gets fully loaded, then next to the structures tab where it shows all your structures, it's right next to the light switch looking thing, the light switch looking icon, and it says fix it, if the custom swatches. You select that, it pulls up another window, and then you select Presets tab. And when you go to your presets, you just go through the list and find the ones where it says whatever color. So say we've got like a couple duplicates of traffic yellow. It'll say traffic yellow, and then in the the brackets or whatever, it'll say 1 and then 2 and then 3, depending on how many duplicates it made. And then if you delete all those duplicates and then download the save, put it back in your saves folder, then this is all fixed. As you can see, I can select iron 1 and I get iron 1. If I select traffic orange, I get traffic orange. If I select fix it primary, I get fix it primary. If I go all the way down to pioneer overalls, I get that color. If I go concrete primary, I get that color. If I go to fix it secondary, I get that color. All my presets are fixed now. I select aluminum, I get aluminum. There were several of these that were duplicated at least once, some of them twice, and that's why my list was so messed up. I select asphalt, I get asphalt. I mean, it's perfect. And now, so every time I save a color preset now, I'm going to have to think about, okay, if I start having issues, I'm going to have to go in and delete the duplicates within Satisfactory Calculator, which is a really cool fix. So, yeah, thanks to the people that figured that stuff out there over on the Satisfactory QA site. I had enough of it doing this train station. I was just like, man, is there any freaking way I can fix this damn thing, or do I have to just wait for them to ever fix it, which they never will, because it's not a fix that's breaking the game, essentially. It's just an annoyance, so that's why they've never fixed it. And now I have fixed it in my own game, and I am happy. So I wanted to share that fix with you guys, because if you did not know, I did not know. That's just one of those things, you just never know. Okay. So now that I've done explain that, let's actually get to building here, or actually get to figuring stuff out. Okay, how much ionized fuel do we want to make? We need to figure out if I can make enough ionized fuel to power 200 generators. That would probably solve my power issues for the entire game, because of how efficient ionized fuel is. So I need to work that out, and I'll have to work that out in Satisfactory Calculator, because man, I don't have the testicular fortitude to work all that math out. So I'm going to use Satisfactory Calculator to figure out how much ionized fuel I want to make, and then that will cascade down the entire list all the way to how much oil and heavy oil and how much resin. And they won't do turbo fuel. We'll have to add turbo fuel in. But it will cascade down for a rocket fuel, our fuel, the nitric gas, the sulfur, the coal, how much compacted coal we're going to be making, how much water we're going to need if we want to use water for our fuel. If we want to use the diluted fuel anyway. I don't think we're going to need it, but we shall see. So yeah, let me get that all worked out, and then we'll figure out how many machines and stuff we're going to need and whatnot. So let's do that. Alrighty, and after a little bit of time there, it took me a couple hours to kind of work out. Just messing around. I'd say about an hour and a half. I always exaggerate a little bit, just for fun. But anyway, so we do have, don't worry about all this machinery yet. This is just planning things out. But yeah, we're going to need 300 biomass per minute to make, we're going to be making 100 liquid biofuel per minute, which needs 150 solid biomass or solid biofuel and 75 water. The only reason we're doing 100 per minute is because inside of here, the packager, if we actually look at the recipe and we fully overclock it, that is 100 liquid biofuel. So that is how much I decided for the extra fuel and stuff that we're going to be making, the different fuel types that we're going to send over to the packaging facility as well. So that works there. And then, yeah, we're just going to make the biomass here, turn it in solid biofuel, put it in there, and yada, yada, yada. So we're going to be making 1,634. This is actually 1,633.333333 into infinity, which is going to be 12 refineries. Well, I'm not going to add any water to the system because we need to use up a lot of heavy oil. So we got the heavy oil there. For the polymer resin, the only reason I'm doing polymer resin is because I need a little bit of heavy oil extra. Plus that allows us to produce that heavy oil, that extra heavy oil. I mean, I could completely eliminate this, which would eliminate 2 train stations. from our entire build, which would be actually wouldn't be too bad. We could definitely do that. The only problem is I need to be able to bring in oil, just straight crude oil, in case we want to make more heavy oil here. But yeah, like I said, I do want to completely eliminate this, which if I eliminate this, it would eliminate one train station if we wanted to import the oil. And I've gone back and forth. This is the reason it took me so long, because I've gone back and forth with this whole setup a few times, trying to figure out the more efficient ways and stuff like that. And it's like, if I import the oil, then I can produce polymer resin, or I can produce more heavy oil if I wanted, just anything like that. And if I don't bring the oil in, then I eliminate 2 train stations by not having a polymer resin export at all. Yeah, we could produce as much heavy oil or as much polymer resin as we wanted. We would just have to do something with the heavy oil, which means we would need to produce more fuel. But yeah, it's just like, okay, I've already gone through this process. It's like, okay, do I eliminate the water or don't I eliminate the water, you know, or eliminate the oil? Because if I eliminate the oil and I eliminate the polymer resin, that gets rid of 2 train stations. And then people are like, well, then you could import your canisters and stuff. It's like, this is true. However, I don't necessarily think I have the room to package all the fuels here. But you know, it's like I might be able to package all the fuels. However, if I was to do that, I would have to make an extra train station for the package of the ionized fuel, which I don't have, and then that would eliminate. I'd have to change over all these train stations to packaged fuel, because I wouldn't be able to. Or I'd have to export them as packaged fuel rather than not packaged fuel. It just makes more sense to make a packaging facility, because then I could add, like, I could do packaged water, I could do packaged everything else. So it's just like, yeah, we'll just do liquid. Now, the elimination of the heavy oil and the polymer resin does kind of sound like a good idea as well, because I can get that heavy oil, that little bit of heavy oil I need extra. All I'd have to do is go over to one of the plastic machines and just throw a summer sloop in it. And that would give me my extra heavy oil that I needed. Because we're actually making... whoops, I have my resources turned on. I was looking at oil possibilities and nitrogen gas. It would be nice if there was some nodes up here. There probably is. I just need to put down a thing to scan it. That would probably be... there probably is something up there. If there's nitrogen gas up here, that'd be really nice. Otherwise, we got to go all the way down here to our nitrogen gas facility, which is quite the distance away for how much nitrogen gas we need. I mean, it will probably work. It just I need to see if there's anything closer. Yeah, because we're doing 3,000 nitrogen gas per minute, and we're only using 975 of that at the current moment. Yeah, I need to put a tower up here somewhere. Well, we'll build this first, and then we'll see. We'll see what we get done here. But yeah, we're going to be making a lot of fuel. This is questionable. I might end up removing this process. Because all I'd have to do is just, like I said, throw a summer sloop in one of the plastic machines or one of the rubber machines. We make a little bit of rubber, a little bit extra rubber, and we make a little bit of extra heavy oil. We take that extra heavy oil into this process. The only reason I need this 63 is because I'm packaging turbo fuel. Turbo fuel does not need any more heavy oil. However, I do need to use up some of the heavy oil. I could lower this even further, but again, it comes back to this recipe of the packaged turbo fuel needs 50, and if I use the 50, then I use up all the heavy oil that the plastic and rubber factory can give me, which is the whole point of this whole entire process, is to use that. We got to figure out how we can use up 2,500 heavy oil per minute. So that's kind of the whole point, is to use up all that. However, I could put a valve on this so that it only uses the 2,500, so I don't ever end up running out of heavy oil entirely to make my fuel. I could put a valve on that and then just have the 50 per minute, but then it only packages when it needs to, because we got to keep it flowing, obviously, to use it all up. But it's like that can be easily mitigated. Yeah, I think I'm going to remove this entirely. If we remove that, we remove 2 train stations, and then we can yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Remove the heavy oil, remove the polymer resin. Then we could add in the compacted coal export if we wanted to. Because we're going to be making compacted coal regardless. And we're actually, how much compacted coal we're going to be making, we can't use it all up. We're actually making quite a bit. I have it over here. We could add back in the compacted coal import, or the compacted coal export. I mean, we're going to be sinking it as well, but yeah, look, we're going to be making 384 plus the 250. So 384 plus 250, 634, because I'm lazy. Right, so 634 minus 50. 584 compacted coal a minute where we would be exporting to like a munitions factory. That could be easily done. I mean, what we could do is we could leave the oil train here and just not use it. But if we need to make more heavy oil, then we absolutely can. Because we can import, we can leave that there for future. Okay, yeah. And what we do is we just take this and do... just change this over to black. Because this is the coal import here. Change the color. Change this to compacted coal export. Then we can export that to another factory in the future. We'll have a sink for it so that it doesn't clog up our system. But when we get around to it, we can end up putting that into munitions factory. Or whatever else we could definitely use it for. I think that would be a really good plan. Okay, so we just get rid of this other process entirely. And what we do for the extra heavy oil that we need, we only need 13 extra. We just go and I think those machines are fully overclocked. If they're not, I'll fully overclock one to try and get that extra. Or we just throw a summer sleep in one of them, and just bring over the heavy oil, the extra heavy oil. And then if we end up producing a heck of a lot, which it probably will, then what we could do is we could just double the amount of turbo fuel we make, and then that mitigates the heavy oil entirely. Basically, that's the whole point. So yeah, let me get rid of this. Put this in here. There. Perfect. Okay, so I think we have our... so we're not making heavy oil anymore, or we're not making polymer resin anymore. So the polymer resin then would then be transferred over to making the... we'd make the polymer resin and make the fabric, the polymer fabric or whatever it is. So then we can make other stuff with that. Yeah, we can get rid of this facility and get rid of this because we already have it planned. Perfect. Sorry if this is all the planning stage. We're just getting past the planning stage today. We don't need this. Okay. So here's our planning stage. So this is the biofuel setup. Obviously these machines aren't where they're supposed to be. They're just here. This one is the rocket fuel. We're going to get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. So making the regular fuel. So this machine is going to be making 100 per minute all by itself. And it's going to go straight into the train, obviously. But then it'll go into making the packaged fuel. We only need one machine for that. That's fine. And then this other one, this one's making fuel, but we're putting a summer sloop in this. This is so that the math is easy and everything works out really nicely for our math and stuff like that. Then we can create entire production lines that are individual rather than trying to merge and then split and trying to worry about all that. But yeah, if we put a summer sloop in this, that makes 200 per minute. The 200 goes into our rocket fuel. The rocket fuel makes 300 per minute, outputs that 50 compacted coal, and we can put that compacted coal into making turbo fuel. But then that goes into our 300 per minute, fully overclocked, 150 tanks, makes 150 packaged rocket fuel. And again, this is kind of unnecessary, but we're going to do it anyway because that's just how we roll. But then these ones are going to be clocked at this exact amount. So we're going to be making 134, making a little bit more than we need, and that'll just keep everything flowing quite nicely. That'll use up our heavy oil. Clocked at 67. We put a summer sloop in it because you can't overclock to 134. You can only overclock to 100. So I downclocked it to the divisible, 134 divided by 2, 67. Put a summer sloop in it. It makes 134. We take that 134, put it in here. Season is 133.33 repeating, which then makes our 200 rocket fuel and our 33.33 repeating compact coal. But yeah, that makes our now while we're making 200 rocket fuel per minute in this machine, because we're doing 1 to 2, we need 100 rocket fuel to make 100 ionized fuel. So we take that rocket fuel, put it into this, which makes our ionized fuel. And basically by setting it up this way, this machine will be the only one feeding that train station. It'll feed that entire train station down there. Same with this turbo fuel right here. This will feed the train station. That machine right there, that'll feed the train station. And then these ionized fuel will just separate out. We're going to have 20 of these, and we'll just separate out a little bit extra because we're making 100, and if we take that 100 times 20, we're making 2,000 per minute. So basically, this is all calculated how much ionized fuel we're going to be making. This is all calculated 100 per machine by 20. This is all calculated on how much power we're going to be generating. So the power generator, or the power factory, the one that's going to take all of our ionized fuel, is going to be making 150,000 megawatts per minute. I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that is 240 fuel generators at full overclock at 250%. That is the reason that I didn't go too crazy with it, because we're already at 240 generators. Sorry, 240 generators at 250% clock speed. You need 1,800 ionized fuel per minute. So then adding that extra 200, it then goes into one of our packagers here. If we select the recipe for the packaged ionized fuel, you need 200 per minute. So I just added that 200 on top of that, which perfectly mathed out to this. So yeah, that is quite the system that we have going on. We're probably going to need a lot more room than this to produce all this, because we're going to need a crap ton of refiners doing fuel and all that stuff. And I'm going to try to split it up into quadrants, so that, over in this section we're making all of our fuel, and over in this section we're making all of our rocket fuel, and over this section we're making all of our ionized fuel, and then turbo fuel kind of off to the side all by itself in a little, like we could easily Wait for this autosave. We could easily put like the turbo fuel over here, and then put like the liquid biofuel like over in that section that's currently in. Maybe we'll do that there, because we don't have a whole lot of space right there for anything special. So, you know, stuff like that. And then maybe over here in this corner we do our little recycling facility so we can make our liquid biofuel, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's kind of my plan anyway. But unfortunately, now that we're past the planning stage and we're about to go into the building stage, we're going to go ahead and call it here for our episode. Now that we've got everything worked out how we want it, so next time we'll get to the building stage. We'll start planning out, putting down our machines, getting our production line set up, getting the belting set up. I doubt we're going to get it running. Anything running, but yeah, and we'll put rocket fuel on bypass for now, so that we can fuel our, we're going to send it over to fuel our generators so that we can continue to make power while we build the rest of this facility, as well as we need to set up our massive power facility. It's going to have 240 fuel generators. That is a lot of fuel generators. We'll make 150,000 megawatts worth of power, plus our boosters and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty crazy. So that is a lot. But anyway, like I said, with that though, that is going to be it for this episode of Satisfactory. So I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see on your screen right now. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.